Tomorrow, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what time we're starting. I know we're hiking. I don't know when it starts. I think we're about to find that out. It's gonna get very, very difficult, and to stay positive and not let that negativity come out. I don't know. It's big for me because, you know, when things get tough, you know, especially at work, the negativity comes out.
Yeah.
And that kind of self-improvement is big to me right now. Oh, how do I feel? Garbage. My feet are mush. One thing I stuck with recently was watching my feet the entire time versus looking up. It's easier in the dark. If you stare at your feet and you're going up a hill or down a hill, you don't even notice it.
That's good.
Well, I'm determined. I'm gonna make it. I've never felt worse in my life.
Steve said negative.
It's the worst thing I've ever done. The biggest struggle was keeping myself awake. It was very hard. I was pinching myself and biting myself just to stay awake. I've never done that. Oh, and it wasn't working. I was in a lot of pain and it wasn't keeping me awake. I had Seb slap me like 17 times. I'm not kidding. I've never in my life.
You guys got less than 3 minutes. You better start thinking about
should
getting
be all right,
up, getting
but
your packs
I'll
on.
see you at the
Let's
finish
go.
line. Like I was saying, he seemed a lot more focused than I did. He took it one step at a time, and I tried that over and over. I get distracted. I kept looking up, but
The wise old bull strategy.
yeah,
Less
Yeah.
talk, more action.
it's a series of ups and downs, right? Because I mean, even early on, Costa like pulled me out of the first big down because I was stuck. Your brain gets so low. Like, I don't know, like in my head I was so focused on the pain, I was so zoned out of anything else besides the pain in my feet. And I was like this, it was like hour 7, it was early on. There's no way I'm gonna get through this. There's no way, this pain is so excruciating. And like, Costa was in front of me and he heard me struggling. And he started talking to me, and at first, the responses I was giving were like one-word answers. I couldn't even process what he was saying, but he kept trying. He kept trying to talk to me, and eventually we started having a full-blown conversation. And at that point, I forgot about the pain. It was gone. I had like a burst of energy, you know. He helped pull me out of that hole that I was in. And it wasn't the last time I was in a hole, though. It happened over and over. Your head, your brain pulls you down, and you get stuck thinking about how much you got left. And like a big mistake I kept making, I kept looking at the sky every 10 minutes, and it wasn't changing. At night, in the wormhole, I kept looking at this over and over, and I was trying to copy what he was doing. He was staring at his feet, and I tried my hardest to do the same thing, but I just could not focus. So yeah, just the ups and downs. And like I said, Chili helped me a lot. I had a lot of conversations with him during this, and I remember asking him, I said, like, Chili, I can't, how do I get out of this? I'm hurting so bad. And he says, well, the main thing is just to remember that you pulled yourself out before. I've seen it numerous times already. You pulled yourself out of the hole. Just remember that. So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing to me.
No, that's a good lesson, Cam.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. And that's a lesson that a lot of people, a lot of people don't get to learn. Here's the thing: for those of us who are going to try in life, for those of us who have decided we are going to make good use with the time that we have here on this earth, and we are going to continuously try to grow, to expand ourselves, the people around us, our businesses. For those of us who decide to try, this life will be a constant state of undulation. Undulation means up and down, right? That happens for those of us who try. For those of us who decide to not try, our life just becomes flat. And it stays flat at the bottom of that curve of undulation, right? But for you guys who are going to try for the rest of your lives to grow, to become better, to learn more, to improve yourself, to improve your business, don't beat yourself up when you're in the trough of that undulation, because it's natural. Even I have the same feeling.
And it's terrible. It's really hard to get out of it.
It's a constant state of undulation.
Yeah.
And just understand, I think you can take some power away from it if you understand that that is the case for everyone who's actually trying. It takes a lot of power away from it. So, yeah, the ROP course is a great representation. The ROP course is like life in a day. You get to experience the full spectrum of life and that undulating state and challenges, and it's like life in a day. So it's a really great representation. I'm glad you brought that up.
But also, like, what we can do for each other, right? Like I was saying, he pulled me out of it.
Yeah.
Like I was giving him these bland. I couldn't even process what he was saying, and I wasn't giving him like good answers at all. But he kept at it. He kept talking to me, and it eventually we started talking. My mind was fine. I was fine again.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
probably this is probably a true statement. Out of the 10 of you guys who finished, there's not a single one of you who could have done it by yourself.
No.
Yeah.
100%.